What is up, guys? We are back. It's your boy Effie with Any Action Sportscast here to go over UFC Nashville. Cory Sandhagen versus Rob Font. Super excited for the fights this week in Nashville. Super happy for the fans. Super happy to be not in the Apex. But I am not super happy to be coming off a loss at UFC 291, man. We lost 1.98 units. So before we get into this week's card, let's recap how we did last week. And man, I had a ton of fun at the fights. There was so much violence, dude. 11 fights, 9 finishes, dude. People were getting straight slept, dude. Head kick city out there in Salt Lake, man. It was wild. It was super cool that the fans were like 70% filled out in the whole arena. That first fight, man. It was so funny. But rough night of bets, definitely for us. We got crushed on the money lines. Just overall a bad night of betting. Definitely bet way too much on this card. Should definitely keep it small. We're going to keep it simple this week. I am feeling a little under the weather, man. Feeling a little pretty sick, so I got my jacket on. Yeah, man. Really quick, guys. Jan Blachowicz moneyline over Alex Pereira minus 115. Lost that, man. Watching it live, I thought he won the fight, but I was just being super biased. He definitely lost the fight. Lost rounds 2 and 3. He couldn't really do much with the grappling positions when he did get him. And shout out to Pereira, man. He definitely didn't get submitted in that first round. Showed good submission defense and fought the hands well. And good on him, man. Happy for him to win his debut. After that, Marcus Rogerio de Lima, man. Versus Derek Lewis, we had him at minus 180, 1.8 units. Oof, man. Terrible, terrible bet. This dude gets Jorge Masvidal. Just gets crushed. Crowd goes crazy. First minute knockout. Absolutely wild. I totally underestimated Derek Lewis there. Happy for him. Took off his shorts and threw it to the stands. It was so crazy because the crowd's going nuts, and I'm sitting there like, oh no. Horrible, horrible, horrible bet there. Next bet, though, we won our first winning bet on the money lines here. Kevin Holland over Michael Chiesa, minus 140. And we put 1 unit on that to collect 0.71 units. Just an easy fight for Kevin Holland there. I kind of expected that to happen. I actually expected him to knock him out. Chiesa was going to be going forward, trying to grapple all fight. Kind of one-dimensional, in my opinion, against someone in Kevin Holland that's very active. Chiesa had a bunch of red flags going for him. Happy to see Kevin Holland get that Darce in round 1. And then after that, this one hurt, bro. Matthew Semelsberger versus Uros Medic, minus 170, 1.5 units. Lost that. He was up 2 rounds, man. He was up 2 rounds, almost finishes him there in that first round. And just terrible, terrible fight IQ, not letting him up, man. He was getting hit by up kicks. That was crazy, man. The spinning elbow from Uros Medic had the crowd going crazy. And I just, man, it hurt really bad to see that. But it's tough, man. That was a tough loss. Good comeback win there by Medic. And yeah, man, so after that, we had Pereira and Jan Blachowicz under 2.5 rounds at minus 155 for 1.55 units. So this is what really killed me on the night. I would have been okay with the Alex Pereira KO here. At least I would have been able to get some money back on my Jan Blachowicz bet. But the fact that Pereira won a decision was the one thing that couldn't have happened. And it happened, man. So that's tough. Yeah, man, that fight was actually kind of a snooze fest. Probably actually one of the worst fights on the entire card. After that, we hit a couple parlays, man. We had Miranda Maverick and Gabriel Bonfim at minus 134, our biggest bet of the night. 2.02 units to collect 1.5. We hit that. Both people finished their opponents. Maverick looked good. I thought she was going to cruise to the decision, but luckily she got that submission in that 3rd round because we did have that under. I'll talk about it in a second. And then Bonfim just looked like $1 million, man. He go out there and just smoked Trevin Giles. That was awesome. No sweat there. Hit that 1.5 units profit there. And on the very first fight of the night, guys, Miranda Maverick versus Priscilla Cachoeira under 2.5 rounds, minus 110 for 1.1 units to win 1. We hit that. I believe we hit that with like 15 seconds to go, man. That was pretty nuts. Pretty exciting to watch that live. The whole crowd was going crazy. I'm almost positive the whole crowd either had her straight up moneyline Maverick or parlay on Maverick, because there's no way this whole crowd cared about Maverick that much. But they're all going crazy every time she would advance positions, try to get the submission, and good on her that she did. And after that, we had a parlay go 1-1 for a loss. We had Kopylov moneyline over Claudio Ribeiro, parlayed with CJ Vergara, Vinicius Salvador. Fight doesn't go the distance, and that fight did go the distance, busting this parlay at plus 135 for half a unit shot. And man, Kopylov head kicked Ribeiro so loud, dude. I heard it all the way up in my seats. That was insane. That was actually kind of scary. And then Vergara had a straight up sparring match, man. That was terrible. Even he was disappointing with his performance. Salvador misses weight, looked terrible. Wow, that was just a terrible, terrible fight. Probably the second worst fight of the night, honestly. And then this is what saved us from having a big loss this week, guys. We had Justin Gaethje inside the distance at plus 215, parlayed with Kevin Holland inside the distance at plus 105 for positive 546. Put a quarter unit shot on that to collect 1.36, and that was huge for us because we were down in the red. Sure enough, Gaethje goes out there and head kicks Dustin Poirier in that second round, and I was going nuts, man. I was so happy. Sucks to see Poirier go out like that, but man, what a bet, what a parlay there. Should have put more. Should have put a half unit on that, honestly. And yeah, man, so tough night for us, definitely, but we're going to bounce back this week at UFC Nashville, so let's get right into the fights. Up first, man, a super exciting fight. We have Osbourne in the flyweight division taking Asu Almabaev. Tough name there. We have Osbourne coming in 12-5, 31 years old, sitting as a plus 140 underdog. Money's coming in on his opponent big time here. Money's pouring in on Asu. And I get it, man, but I'm not gonna be betting him. No way. Asu Almabaev, 17-2, fighting out of Kazakhstan, making his UFC debut. Got ballooned all the way down to minus 190. This guy was around minus 140, minus 150 earlier in the week. Let me get me on the screen here. And yeah, man. So the thing with this fight is I actually like the defensive grappling from Ode. He actually impressed me with the offensive grappling he had in that last fight against Charles Johnson. I did not see that coming at all. I thought he was going to be standing bang. I thought he was going to be the one that got out-grappled in that fight. But sure enough, he comes out and he looked good in the wrestling exchanges, man. The thing is, Asmu should be clearly a better grappler here. I do wonder how he's going to do the holding Osbourne down. Osbourne's a big guy. He's 5'7" for the flyweight division. He's going to have a 2-inch height advantage over Asu here. But we all know what he's going to do here. So Osbourne is a very good grappler, pretty decent striker. There's a lot of spitting side kicks, which I think is actually kind of a red flag. But he goes for a lot of good switching side kicks to the body. And decent enough jab, throws in combination. He's okay off his back foot, but when this fight happens, man, I expect him to be going for the grappling, going for the takedowns here on Ode. And I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Ode sprawl and brawl and piece him apart on the feet. We just saw a minus 400 favorite out of Kazakhstan make their debut a few cards ago against Tyson Nam. And that was a close fight, man. So I'm kind of surprised at how much faith people have in this kid making his debut. Ballooning him all the way to almost minus 200, 2-1 favorite over a guy who has very good UFC high-level competition, good experience, and an all-right skill set, man. Ode Osbourne is not a scrub at all. He does have somewhat lackluster IQ, man. That flying knee he threw against Tyson Nam got him knocked out. So it's tough, man. I actually do think that Ode is a live dog in this fight. I am going to pick Ode Osbourne, but I'm not going to be betting him. I'm going for the upset right away. There is quite a few underdogs I like on this card, and Ode is one of them. I know it says right there on the screen he's fighting out of Syndicate, but I actually think that he's getting worked in both. Like Syndicate and Extreme Couture are two pretty big gyms here in Vegas, and I think that Ode is actually working out of both. So good to see him getting good trading partners. I think he's going to pull this off, man. So I'm not touching it. I'm just going to sit back and learn on Asu, see what he looks like at the UFC level in front of the UFC crowd. So super excited for this fight. After that is a fight that's not happening, guys. It's actually kind of a theme with this card. A lot of cancellations, a lot of late lanes replacements, I should say. We have Sean Woodson taking on not this guy. He's taking on Dennis Bazooka. So I'm just gonna click out of this because this fight got canceled literally like 2 hours ago. So yeah, that's kind of funny. Later in the week when I make my official bets video, I'll try to mention something about that Sean Woodson fight. But yeah, that's kind of funny how like right away, like he got like 3 fights booked actually canceled. This is like his 4th opponent for Sean Woodson on this card. It's kind of crazy how much they want him on this card. But bro, this fight, dude, this fight is a banger. I can't wait for this one. Another flyweight fight. We have Jake White Kong Hadley, 10-1, taking on Cody Durden, 15-4-1. The odds currently sit Jake Hadley minus 190, Cody Durden plus 160. Hadley is 27 years old, 5'7", with a 70-inch reach. Cody Durden is 5'7", 32 years old with a 67-inch reach. So he will be 5 years older than Hadley here. And this is going to be a banger fight because I do think Hadley is the better fighter here. I do understand him being the favorite, but that line is getting wide, and it is getting a little bit out of my reach, in my opinion, as far as how I want to play it. Because Cody Durden is another live underdog, and especially kind of for the same reasons. He can wrestle. This guy can wrestle very well. The thing with Jake Hadley is he's clearly a better striker, in my opinion, in this fight by a lot. I love his hands, very quick combinations, and very good kicks. This guy is legit on the feet. I like him on the feet. Whereas Cody Durden's okay, on the feet he's not as good, not as polished, not as crisp as Hadley, and I don't think, honestly, not as quick. But the wrestling definitely goes to Cody Durden here, especially the initiations of the takedowns. I think the takedowns can come for Cody Durden in this fight. But I will say, Hadley, the one thing that scares me in this fight is he's really comfortable off his back. Like, he has a pretty active guard, and that could actually lead to losing extended minutes in this fight. Like, I mean, yeah, you want to look for submissions and move and not just be stale on the mat. But if you're okay and if you get too like overconfident in that, it can really cost you positions and minutes and rounds. Next thing you know, you're down 2 rounds or you slip and lose a round. So it's going to be close, but I am going to go with Hadley. I wouldn't be surprised to see him finish Cody Durden here. I think that same thing, sprawl and brawl for Hadley here. You know, defend a couple of takedowns, tire him out, Cody Durden, and look to put him away late here in this fight. So I think that he will piece him up. I think Hadley will piece him up as the fight goes. I think he builds into this fight, and I think that he's going to win this fight. Give me Jake Hadley. Going a little quick this, guys, because like I said, I'm a little sick. So I don't know if I'm sick or if I just not feeling too good after crushing like 35 beers this weekend. But yeah, man. Oh my god, dude, another banger of a fight. In the featherweight division, we have Billy Quarantillo taking on Damon Jackson. Billy Quarantillo comes in 17-5, staying as a -175 favorite. He is 34 years old, 5'10", with a 70-inch reach. He's taking on Damon Action Jackson, 22, 5-1, +140, 34 years old, 5'11", with a 71-inch reach. Now, I know I said both underdogs were live previously to this fight. And I do kind of see a live underdog here, but not as much. I really do like Billy Q in this fight, but hey, don't get me wrong. Damon Jackson is a very good fighter. I think that if he had a different haircut, I would look at him way different, because that haircut is terrible, dude. His haircut goes like halfway back to his head. Just cut it off, man. Just gotta go home, and go bald there, man. Shave the head. You'll look like a beast. But yeah, man. As far as this fight's gonna play out, Billy Q is gonna be way faster on the feet. Way more defensively sound than Damon Jackson. Damon Jackson tends to leave his hands really low when he pulls them back. He's susceptible to body shots. We all saw what Ilya Portoria did to him. We all saw how Dan Ige treated him. But bro, he impressed me in that Pat Sabatini fight where I actually bet against him. He went out and front kicked Pat Sabatini to the next dimension, dude. That was crazy. And he's on a bit of a run here. I know he lost his last fight, like I said, to Dan Ige. He got blasted in that fight. He's been blasted before, so we've seen him get pretty much killed sometimes when he loses. When he loses, he's losing bad. And with Billy Q, he has that sort of Homer System style where you can put it on him, but if you don't actually get him out of there, you're gonna get hurt pretty bad on the way back. So I know we've actually cashed on the last 2 bets of his. We had him against Alexander Hernandez, and then when we had Barbosa when he fought Barbosa. And yeah, he's a good fighter, man. I do think that the grappling advantage goes to Damon Jackson here. I do worry that Billy Q can get taken down, and then, like I said for the last fight, lose extended minutes in the clinch. Damon Jackson is a very good back taker, and if you get that body triangle on you, that's it. You have lost the round pretty much, and you're screwed. And I'm kind of surprised at how old Billy Q is. I did not expect him to be 34 years old, and I was like, whoa, that creeped up on me. And he got viciously knocked out not too long ago. What is this? 3 months ago, he got knocked out by Edson Barbosa. Pretty bad, man. Both guys coming off knockout losses. Wouldn't be surprised to see this fight finished, man. Both guys getting up there in age. Both guys have pretty good striking, where Billy Q, in my opinion, has a little bit more crisper and more dangerous striking. Give me Billy Q in what should be a very exciting fight. I think the fans are in for a good one. I'm happy Billy Q is fighting in front of a fan. He seems to be a fan favorite. And Damon Jackson is a very respectable fighter. He's earned his right. I can't wait for that fight, man. Give me Billy Q. I'm going to go with... Man, this is tough. Method of victory. I'm going to go with decision. Go decision. I don't think I gave a method for the first 2 ones. I will for the rest. Up next is a very good fight if you like wrestling. We have 2 welterweights between Jeremiah Wells and Carlston Harris. Jeremiah Wells, 12-2-1, sitting around -170, 36 years old, 5'9", with a 74-inch reach. He's fighting Carlston Harris, 18-5, +140, 36 years old, 6 foot, with a 76-inch reach. These guys are very similar in how they fight. Their frames are way different, though. So Jeremiah Wells is 5'9", Carlston Harris is 6 foot. He only has a 2-inch reach advantage. It's kind of crazy. Jeremiah Wells has really, really long arms. And yeah, man, I'm super excited for this fight because I love when I don't know who's going to win the grappling exchanges. Because when you're grappling someone that's so short, it's so hard to get in on their hips on takedowns. You got to really find a different way to get those underhooks, you know? I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeremiah Wells shooting on Harris and Harris just get those underhooks and reverse. So, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Jeremiah Wells shooting for a double, have to transfer to a single, and then just work from there. As far as the striking, I'm giving it to Harris. I know he got blasted by Shavkat Rakhmonov, but I mean, that's Shavkat Rakhmonov, and even in that fight, he was defending takedowns early on in that fight. And Jeremiah Wells, not for nothing, guys, is banned from my gambling bankroll, even though he won me my only fight I've ever bet on him. Or sorry, I bet against him against Summelsberger. I had Summelsberger, I lost. In a fight where Jeremiah Wells got dropped legit like 3 times. He was getting rocked all over the place, but it was this grappling advantage over Summelsberger that won him that fight, and I don't think that he'll be having that big of a grappling advantage in this fight against Carlston Harris. But the reason he's banned from my bankroll, I should say, is that in this Blood Diamond fight, guys, he started the fight by saying like, "Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to fight?" And he just like yeah, and they start the fight, and he runs in like a circle and gets his foot caught in the cage and falls down. The old classic run around circle and fall down to get your opponent close to you, and then he grabbed him and had the clinch along the cage because Blood Diamond's like a pure striker. It was so funny. I remember watching that and be like, "What the heck is going on?" And we ended up winning, so that was pretty awesome. So, but if you do something like that, I can never bet on you ever. So I won't be betting on him here. I'm actually really excited for this fight. I'm surprised to see Wells almost approaching minus 200. Really want to go with the underdog here. I'm going with Jeremiah Wells. All right, I think he taught me my lesson last fight. He showed he has got heart. He showed he's got durability, even though he got dropped a bunch of times. But yeah, man, I'm not super confident in this one. I wouldn't see myself gambling on this one. Two 36-year-olds, pretty evenly matched. I'll go ahead and pass money line gambling-wise on this, I should say. Give me Jeremiah Wells to win this fight via decision. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets a sub, but I doubt it. Oh man, up next is another banger. I was funny if a fight's not a banger, I'll be shocked on the rest of this card. We have Raoni Barcelos in the bantamweight division taking on Kyler Phillips. Raoni Barcelos, 17-4, plus 145, 36 years old, 5'7", with a 67-inch reach. Fighting Kyler Phillips, 10-2, sitting around minus 175, 28 years old, 5'8", the 72-inch reach. Now, the story behind this fight is that Kyler Phillips is a no-good, dirty cheater, and he got caught with steroids, dude. So he's coming off a huge, long layoff, and it's super funny because I don't think many people were surprised when he got caught. This dude is huge. This dude is huge, and he's jacked. And he has super crazy power, right? So sure enough, he gets popped with steroids, and now you're like, okay, like what's going on here? Like, how is he gonna look coming back? He hasn't fought in over a year, but a year and 3 months now. He's a very good slick striker though, with good grappling. But he has suspect gas tank. He looks like $1 million in that first round. Looks okay in that second round, and his output seems to wane as the fight goes, which happens when you throw like everything into your shots. When you throw 100% max into your shots, it's hard to keep that up for 15 minutes. On the other side though, we have, in my opinion, probably the more well-rounded fighter, and he's the underdog, Raoni Barcelos. Man, I want to pick him so bad. I want to bet him so bad this fight, but he is 36 years old, coming off a brutal knockout to Umar Nurmagomedov in a sequence where I did not see it coming. Neither did he. He got put down very bad, flash KO off like a feint with the knee, hits him with the left. But the thing, he was looking good in that fight. He was looking pretty fast. His kicks were landing. He was making Umar move. You can clearly see how he was making Umar think a ton in that fight. And his wrestling is really good in general, man. Was a 5-time national wrestling team member. And Kyler Phillips, I do not think is the same level of grappler as Raoni Barcelos. He is very long and has those long limbs, so it does help you in jiu-jitsu, especially when you're trying to counter wrestle. But I actually think Raoni Barcelos has a shot in this fight. It just sucks because, man, he's 36 years old. What? 8 years older than his opponent here. And his durability, his chin, and even his speed you can be fair to say it should be deteriorating here, right? Just got knocked out. He's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. And the Henry fight, the Victor Henry fight, was kind of shocking to me. He got like kind of worked over in that fight. Victor Henry put on 1,000 strikes on him, and he had no answer. Came back good against Trevin Jones, and man, I'm just interested to see the clinch along the cage. I think Raoni Barcelos is going to pressure him and really grab him here. I don't think that he's going to be wanting to spend extended minutes on the feet, because that's where Kyler Phillips is really good. So Raoni Barcelos just needs to survive that first round, that first fury, that first wave of danger from Kyler Phillips. And I think he could have his way here. So I am going to go with Kyler Phillips to win this fight, and I'll be so upset if Raoni Barcelos wins, because I think he's a live dog. Whoa, crazy thunder just went like outside my room. That's crazy. It's like raining like crazy in Vegas right now. But yeah, man, give me Kyler Phillips. Not confident at all. I think that line is way off. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see money coming the other way on Barcelos, but I get it. He's 36 years old, just got coming off a vicious knockout. It's tough, but I do think that he's a better overall skilled fighter. Give me Kyler Phillips. No, screw that. I'm changing to Barcelos. What am I talking about? These guys coming off a steroid suspension, hasn't fought in forever. Too many red flags. Give me the real, I'll say real, but like the more proven fighter, the one out here at least staying active. Give me Barcelos, and I'm actually kind of expecting to get that pick wrong. Let's go via decision. I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes late though, because Kyler Phillips does fade. So funny that I just switched my pick in the middle of my pick. Hold up. I'm not even smoking. I'm getting cotton mouth. It was crazy. Up next in the lightweight division, Man, this is going to be another good fight, but I actually think that it's going to be pretty one-sided. I have Ignacio Bahamondes at 14-4, taking on Ludovit Klein, 19-4-1. This is going to be a very good fight between two very good strikers, in my opinion. Ignacio Bahamondes, man, 25 years old, 6'3", absolutely nuts. 75.5-inch reach for 155. This dude is 155 pounds and is 6'3", man. Absolutely crazy, right? Fighting Ludovit Klein, 19-4-1, like I said, coming in at plus 165, 28 years old. 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. Now this is interesting because Ludovit Klein is a good technical striker, very good kicks. He likes to throw that body kick, likes to go up top with the head and just put it out there. And he's dangerous on the feet for sure, but he's kind of been more grappling recently in his fights, and I don't know if that's going to be a good idea here because Ignacio Bahamondes is very tall and long, and I understand when someone's so tall and long like that, it's super easy to take him down. But man, this dude has very good jiu-jitsu off his back, and he's very active off his guard. And the one thing that worries me is that Jaya Herbert fight that most recently for Ludovit Klein that he had, Herbert was like doing good in the guard. Like, so Ludovit Klein would get him down, and then Herbert was actually very active, like with strikes and trying to get submissions off his back. I actually expect the same exact thing from Bahamondes if it does get there. But on the feet, I think that Bahamondes is gonna light this guy up. Like, I was about to call him a kid, but he's older. Like, I think Bahamondes is the truth. I think he has a juice on the feet. This dude is legit. We all saw that spinning head kick he got against Roosevelt Roberts. I mean, dude, this guy is legit. And I will say, like, I want him to show, like, his IQ. Like, I want him to be able to construct the whole fight, right? And so I don't want him to just rely on head kick knockouts, like, as he gets older in the UFC. But I do expect him to have improvements, man. I do have high hopes for this kid. I'll be shocked if he finishes his career at 155. He's probably gonna have to go up to welterweight at one point, but for now, he's having a big size advantage over all his fighters, or his opponents, I should say. So I actually think that the kicks from Ludovit Klein should land to the body a lot here on Bahamondes here. He just can't afford to go down when he goes up. I think that Bahamondes is going to win this fight fairly easily and look good doing it. The crowd's going to be going crazy for him. The crowd's definitely going to want a highlight reel in this fight. Give me Bahamondes to win via knockout, or inside the distance, I should say. I don't know if he could get that sub, but I'm actually going with him to finish this fight. I understand that Ludovit Klein, a pretty decent enough fighter, and it's going to be a tough test, but give me Ignacio Bahamondes to win inside the distance. Up next, man. Okay, this one's probably not that good of a banger. This is probably the one I was talking about. Yeah, man, a light heavyweight fight between two guys that I don't know how are in the UFC still. We have Tanner Boser taking on Aleksa Camur. Boser comes in 20-10-1. Sitting us around as 180 favorite, 32 years old, 6'2", with a 75.5-inch reach. He's fighting Aleksa Camur, 6'2", 27 years old, 6'1", with a 74.5-inch reach. I was talking with someone on Twitter, and I was like, you know what's a good like indication, or just a good observation in general when you're trying to make picks or make bets, is that if you haven't fought since a global pandemic started and then ended, let alone won a fight in that time, then I'm not picking you, bro. Like, what is going on? Why hasn't this dude fought? Did some research. I guess he got injured, right? And so I guess it was severe. I don't know if it was. I'm pretty sure it was a shoulder injury. So that's not good. And I mean, it wasn't that good to begin with, honestly. Like, he's not that good. He's 6'2", very inexperienced. He's fighting Tanner Boser, who's a heavyweight, going down a light heavyweight, who can't wrestle. But Tanner Boser does have good power. He has decent enough striking, okay footwork, not that good lateral movement. That's why I think Aleksa Camur could actually look good in this fight. Like, it's just so weird because he's supposed to be like Stipe's boy, and like there's a lot of times in the UFC where like a really good fighter will have like teammates that shouldn't be in the UFC, but they just get the opportunity. And, you know, they go from there, and sometimes they make a run, sometimes they suck, and like Blood Diamond. You know, who knows? I think that's what we have here with Camur. I'm not confident in Camur at all. There's no way I can bet or pick him with all the red flags that he has, inactivity, the fact that he wasn't that good to begin with, and the fact that he's coming off a huge surgery, and the lack of experience he has. Whereas Tanner Boser, I understand, you know, he's not looking great in the UFC. He got absolutely dusted in his last fight against Quarantillo. Also, the decision of Rodrigo Nascimento, where I thought he could have won. Had a good fight against Ove St. Preux, so it's not like he's a bum, right? So it's not like he's horrible. That's why I'm going with Tanner Boser here. So I'm going with the guy that I've seen least, like, in the octagon, right? Like, at least he's in the fight game, still cutting weight, going up there, getting paid. Give me Tanner Boser, man, and I am not confident in this one. This is like bottom 2 level confident, like me and the other one earlier. Man, I'm not confident in Tanner Boser in this fight, but I think he'll win this fight. I'm going with decision. Give me Tanner Boser via decision. I believe we have 3 more fights, or 4 more fights, guys. Oh man, cut my life in two pieces. Look at this dude's hair, bro. We have a featherweight fight between Gavin Tucker and Diego Lopes, man. Or is it Lopez? So, pretty sure it's Lopez. Gavin Tucker, man, coming in 13-2, 37 years old, big red flag. 5'6" with a 66-inch reach. Diego Lopes comes in 21-6, around minus 135. 28 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. So right away, guys, I kind of never really do this, but right away, I mean, look at the tail of the tape. This is wild. So first of all, Gavin Tucker is 9 years older than Lopes here. He is 5 inches shorter, and he has a 6-inch reach disadvantage. And he hasn't fought in 2.5 years. I mean, how many more red flags do you want before I talk about this fight? Because, like, this is crazy, right? And the line reflects, like, sums up, right? So he should be way higher, because Lopes comes in on short notice in his debut after winning on Contender Series, way back, losing on Contender Series. But he came in on short notice against Movsar Evloev, where he almost submitted this dude like 3 times, right? And that's the thing. Movsar should have been submitted in the UFC legit, like in 3 different fights. It's crazy. This dude's unsubmittable. So I actually kind of don't blame him for not being able to finish a submission on a guy whose brother's a wrestling Olympic gold medalist. Like, Movsar obviously knows what he's doing on the mat. And the fact that he even got that close on him is absolutely wild. Those scrambles in that fight were absolutely so sick. And his striking wasn't that bad either. Like, he was coming forward. He was landing combination. Movsar is just that good, dude. Movsar, he gave him a tough fight, and Movsar is like top 5 in the division. On short notice, he gave him a good fight. So it's one of those times where, like, he's coming off a loss, and people are really, like, valuing that loss. Like, almost like he lost and his stock improved, right? I mean, how could it not? On short notice, gave the guy, a top 5 guy, a really close fight. Saved the card, you know? On the other side, Gavin Tucker is probably better. Like, an overall fighter 2 years ago, right? Like, at 37 years old, coming off a brutal knockout against Dan Ige, man, it's tough to pick and back Gavin Tucker, but his skill set is not bad, man. I like his striking. I like his hands. Very quick boxing and decent enough grappling, man. His wrestling is not bad. I actually thought that Dan Ige fight was going to be close, and Dan Ige blasted him in like 45 seconds. Something crazy. I think it was the very first exchange they had. And yeah, that's like the second dude that's been blasted by Dan Ige on this card. But I just can't pick him, man. Like, it's so weird. I have a feeling like kind of like Tony Ferguson last week, where I know the skill set, like, he's had a good skill set. It's not like he's bad anywhere in one which area. And Lopes is, I have a bad feeling that we're just overvaluing him just because he looked good in his last performance. But on a full camp now, I do think that we can expect him to look good and collect this win. But Gavin Tucker has serious power, in my opinion, and all it takes is one. Gavin Tucker knockout might not be a crazy prop to take, but I am going to go and pick cut my life in 2 pieces, Papa Roach's own Diego Lopes to win. And I think he wins inside the distance. I feel like he's, I don't want to say submission or bust, because his striking, like I said, it didn't look bad. It looks fine on the regional scene as well. Give me Diego Lopes, man. Give me him to win via submission. And I just hope he's not desperate to get that fight, like, in that area. I hope he's not trying to pull guard or at least dive at the legs. I want him to make Tucker respect his standing and then try a level change. So give me Lopes to win a submission victory. I'm going round 1. I'm going round 1 early. Up next. Oh, dude, this is a banger. It's one of my favorite fighters right here. And that reminds me, hold on. Similar to last week, man, it's really hard to, like, pick against fighters you really like. I'm going to do it here. So we have Dustin Jacoby, 18-7-1. Currently sitting as a plus 120 underdog, 35 years old, 6'3", with a 76-inch reach. Fighting Kennedy, the African Savage, and Nzechukwu, 12-3, minus 140, 31 years old, 6'5", with an 83-inch reach. And I am picking Kennedy to win this fight, but bro, there is so much to like. Well, at least I think so. From Dustin Jacoby, I love him, man. I love watching his fights. Very good kickboxer. Decent enough grappler, but exciting striking, right? Very good kicks, very good straight punches, very good combinations, obviously. The dude had a kickboxing, career before the UFC. And man, I really liked him as a fighter, man. It's so funny. He has like a metal rod in one of his arms. So he actually has like he actually kind of has like a cheating disadvantage, like advantage over the opponents, because there's a metal steel rod in his arm when he's punching. But that's the thing. In his last fight, I had money on him against Azamat Murzakanov. And I did not expect him to get dropped the way he did in that fight. Like, that was kind of shocking to me. I understand I respected Murzakonov's striking, but I didn't think Jacoby's chin would look like that. And that's why I am kind of picking Kennedy in this fight. Kennedy's very young, very explosive, and ascending in the UFC. He's looking better each time, right? So Submitted Devin Clark. KO'd Ian Cutelaba in a very good fight. He looked really good in that one. He's the type of guy that if you shoot on him, which I don't really expect Dustin Jacoby to do, and you just keep your head on the side, he can like elbow you like till you're knocked out. This dude is very, very long, man. Super long arms. He'll have a significant 7-inch reach advantage over Jacoby and 2-inch height advantage. So he'll be the bigger guy in this fight. And he's young, man. He's explosive and he's fast. The defense isn't quite as there, but it's tough to really, you know, penalize him for that because he's getting the job done still. So he's young in the UFC. He's still up and coming, in my opinion. And I feel like this is going to be one of those where like he emerges as a new prospect type fight. I really don't see Dustin Jacoby getting ahead on the points in this fight and frustrating Kennedy. I really do think that he needs that one big shot in this fight, and I think that probably comes from Kennedy, actually. And I wouldn't be surprised if Kennedy initiate the grappling, which is obviously the area that I think he has an advantage here. The striking probably goes to Dustin, more slicker, like crisper striker than Kennedy. More power probably going to Kennedy. And then the suspect chin and the fact that he can probably get out-grappled in the clinch here and get put down on the mat leans me to Kennedy here. It sucks because I really like Dustin Jacoby as a fighter. Super exciting guy, but he's getting up there in age, man. 35 years old, fighting a guy in 31 who's taller, longer. I am going to go with Kennedy and Nzechukwu to win inside the distance. I think that this doesn't see the cards. If it does, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see Dustin to win a decision. I think that Kennedy's going to get the job done inside the distance and not need the refs. Go round 2. Don't go round 3 knockout. Like in the co-main event, guys, this is going to be exciting as well, man. I'm super excited for this because I love high-level, high-talent fights, and this is exactly that. We have a women's strawweight fight. Jéssica Andrade taking on Tatiana Suarez, man. Jéssica coming in at plus 330, 31 years old, 24-11, 5-1 with a 62-inch reach. Tatiana Suarez comes in undefeated, 9-0, massive, unjustified favorite at minus 435, 32 years old, 5'5 with a 66-inch reach. And the reason I say that is because how can you possibly watch her last fight and then think that she's going to be minus 435 over Jéssica Andrade? Like, I get it. If you watch Andrade's last 2 fights, you could probably be like, how the hell is she going to do anything against Tatiana Suarez? But, bro, I really do feel like she just wasn't right for those last 2. So, obviously, Andrade coming on 2-fight losing streak in her last fight where she got put out by Jonan Yan, which we had in that fight. That's just a tough and completely different stylistic matchup in this fight. Tatiana Suarez has nowhere near the striking of someone like Yan Zhanyan. The thing is, what that gives me a little bit of pause here on Andrade is that the striking in the Erin Blanchfield fight didn't look great either. So Blanchfield was landing a lot and landing clean and looking good on the feet of all places on Andrade, which I was kind of shocked. Andrade was so wild and so long and loopy in that fight. I was kind of shocked. It seemed to me that she was like, all right, because she took out short notice to save that card. That was a main event slot that she took on short notice after just recently, not that long ago, beating the brakes off Lauren Murphy. And there was rumors that she got like her hand injured for beating up Lauren so bad that so she wasn't 100% in the Blanchfield fight. I'm assuming, like, if I'm in her spot, she was probably thinking, all right, I'm gonna try to get her out like right away, and if I can't, I'm screwed. And who cares? I'll take it on short notice. But this is weird because this is like a title, like not like a eliminator, but like a top contender fight. So the winner of that fight actually put themselves in a really good spot to fight for the belt. And so to have that kind of dumb IQ and dumb strategy, I guess, is kind of surprising. Which was why I was surprised that she lost the way she did. And obviously, she got out grappled by someone that's really, really good at grappling, and Erin Blanchfield is why we see minus 435. For Tatiana Suarez, man. Tatiana Suarez is a beast. Probably, honestly, the best women's prospect we've seen in the last, like, 10 years. This girl is a monster. It just sucks so hard that she had to take, like, a 4 or 3-year-long layoff off some crazy circumstances, guys. She had, like, cancer, a super bad surgery, super sad stuff. But so everyone's rooting for her. Like, a super fan favorite. I like her. I love wrestlers. And that's her, man. She's a bully on the mat. She'll summon anybody in the UFC. But the thing is, like, her striking is not good, man. And I am willing to say that last fight against Montella De La Rosa, it's funny because like when someone's off for a long time like that, like you have to ask yourself, do they want, which I don't think this is the case, do you think they're gonna want to get extended minutes in the octagon? Do you think they're like, all right, I want to fight for long, I want to fight 15 minutes, which I don't think is the case. I think that any fighter out there, when they fight, they want to start the fight and end the fight as fast as possible, take as little damage as you can, and get out of there, which I think is the case. But in that fight, dude, she looked that good. She looked good. She won the 5-year submission. She was having trouble getting the fight down the mat, and she was kind of getting lit up on the feet. She looked kind of slow, she looked kind of rusty, and that's the thing. I am willing to chalk that up to just rust, right? She wasn't active, as much. Obviously, like long layoff, and she's a lot of pressure coming back because the expectations were so high for her. And we're talking about champion, maybe double champ. Like everyone's thinking really high of Tatiana Suarez, and for good reason, man. So pretty black and white fight here. So Andrade has to avoid the mat like it's lava here, because if she does, she's gonna get passed, or not even just passed. She's gonna get held down, controlled, and kind of lose every round like that. That's only a 3-round fight, so I could totally see Tatiana Suarez banking those first 2, and then Jéssica Andrade going for broke in that 3rd round, making it super exciting for the fans. Oh, I just gotta say, guys, plus 330 seems crazy to me, man. Oh man, I am going with Suarez. But if you're gonna play it, man, if you're like a value person out there, you just want the $5, $10, put it on Jéssica Andrade, because that line's off, to my opinion, man. I'm just shocked staring at my screen, seeing plus 330 right now. But as far as the pick, it's gonna be hard, but I think Tatiana Suarez does get this fight either in the clinch, then down, or just straight up down from a takedown, in the open, and then she gets a submission or TKO finish. I think that Suarez's grappling upside, pretty much against anyone in the UFC at this point, is so high that we're gonna see a lot of these lines. So she's probably gonna be minus 435 for the foreseeable future until she fights someone, you know, championship caliber, actual champ like Shevchenko or Blanchfield. But give me Suarez to win round 2 submission. Round 2 submission, and I wouldn't be shocked for a ground and pound, because all it takes is one advantageous position, get to mount, get to back mount, and she can put it on you. Up next is the main event, guys. Super excited for this fight. Can't wait to talk about it. Oh man, yeah. Sorry for like the late notice or super short card or video this week, but like I said, I'm trying to do this out here. Not feeling too great this week. But yeah, man, we have a catchweight fight for the main event, a late replacement fight for Rob Font. We have Cory Sandhagen taking on Rob Font. Man, this is going to be a banger, dude. Do not miss this one. I'm super jealous of the people that are going to be in the arena for this fight. This is going to be super exciting, high-level stuff from 2 legit strikers. One more so a kickboxer, one more a boxer. So let's get into it, man. Cory Sandhagen, 16-4, coming in at minus 270, 31 years old, 5'11", the 70-inch reach. Super tall for the division, super long for the division. Then you have Rob Font, 20-6, plus 220, 36 years old, 5'8", with a 71.5-inch reach. So it's actually kind of crazy that he's way shorter, 3 inches shorter, and has a longer reach, man. Super long arms on Rob Font. Now I'm actually going to start with Rob Font. So he's 36 years old, coming in on short notice, but he looked very good in his last fight, man. A lot of people counted him out against Adrian Yanez, but we had money on him, and I was so happy to cash that knockout prop, man. I feel like a lot of people were counting him out, just kind of giving the fight already to Yanez because he's younger, up-and-coming guy. But Font showed him what's up, dude, and he got him out of there. Rob Font has very good boxing, dude. Very crisp striking, I should say. He rolls the punches well. He slips well, pulls the punches back well. Goes to the body well, which I really like from fighters. And he's decent enough calf kicks to mix it in. His okay grappling. Off his back is all right. He's decent get-ups. But man, that age is kind of worrying me. And he's fighting someone that I feel is in their prime, big time, man. So I know I said Sandhagen was around minus 270. He is actually around minus 310-ish now. So that sucks. That's a little wide. Definitely have to parlay him with something else if you want to bet on him, because I'm not trying to bet 3 units to win 1 here against Rob Font. But man, I think Cory Sandhagen rocks this dude. I think that Cory Sandhagen is gonna knock this dude out before the 25 minutes is up, man. And if it doesn't happen, I think that he's gonna win a pretty dominant decision. Yeah, Cory Sandhagen, like I said, a kickboxer versus a striker here. Cory Sandhagen being the kickboxer, he's more of a bounce. His stance is more bouncy on his toes, more lateral. His shoulders aren't square when he's striking. He's more a little bit turned, kind of like Umar Nurmagomedov. And he's looking good, man. I understand he lost to the top level guys like Dillashaw and Jan, but bro, if they fight again, I'm probably picking Cory Sandhagen. I don't know what's going on with Peter Yan right now, but his comeback fights against Song Yong, he looked very good. Dr. Stoppage with the elbow there, split him up, and that's one thing that I really like from him. He has very good step-in elbows, and he gets people when they crash in the pocket very hard. And after that, he beat Oliveira where he worked him. I don't know how that was a split decision. That was kind of crazy. He looked amazing. He throws a lot of output and a lot of feints, and he even talks about it. His style was similar to Volkanovski. He makes you think so much, a lot, and he described that in the Vera fight. So he's throwing. Well, first of all, he switches stance like crazy. He switches stance, and you can't really get a beat on him. He's moving laterally, left and right. You can't really stop him. And then he's throwing stuff out there in different variations, different combinations, different rhythms. And his whole strategy is to make you overload. He wants you to computer does not compute type stuff. He wants you to just not really think about how to fight back, and he's good at it. And I feel like he's gonna definitely do that to Rob Font in this fight. I feel like he's a more sophisticated striker in this fight, and I'm loving the IQ he's showing in his fights. And the fact that you add that this was short notice for Rob Font, man, I really like Corey Sandhagen in this fight, and I'd be kind of shocked if he loses this fight. And that's no disrespect to Rob Font. This guy's proven his worth in the UFC. He's a durable guy, a very good boxer, like I said. You know, tough decision loss to Vera there, and a tough loss to Jose Aldo. But both those guys are high-level fighters, just like Corey Sandhagen, though. But give me Corey Sandhagen to win via knockout in that 3rd round. I think that he's going to put it on Rob Font, bruise him up. Oh, that's another thing, dude. Rob Font, I don't know what it is about him, but he seems to be, he's like Nate. I don't know if he has a bunch of scar tissue on his face, but he's like the Diaz brothers, where he'll get hit, and like next thing you know, it's like a ball on his head, or like he's getting like blood dripping out. Kind of crazy. So yeah, man, a guy that has serious damaging elbows, good strikes, good kicks to the body, good kicks to the head, spinning side kicks. You'll see a lot of these flashy strikes from Corey Sandhagen. I think he gets him out of there, man. Give me Corey Sandhagen inside the distance, round 3 knockout, man. Thanks so much, guys, for watching my video, guys. That'll do it. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 250 subscribers, so I really appreciate it, man. I think I'll be doing my official bets video on Thursday, so if you're on the East Coast, it'll be out Friday morning. You'll wake up and see my video. I do have one parlay so far. Corey Sandhagen and Ignacio Bahamondes. Got that at -105. I love that parlay, man. And so far, that's all we have. I am, like I said, trying to keep it tight. I just bet like 10 units last card. So I am going to try to keep it tight, be more, you know, careful with my bankroll management. But thank you so much, guys. Really fun talking about this fight. And I'll see you guys next week, or sorry, a couple of days for my official bets video. Good luck this week, man. Peace.